Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAF TV. Of course, this is where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines every day. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today. Of course, we come to different newspaper stands. We get to discuss headlines with people on the streets, get to know their thoughts and opinions on stories that are making rounds on the newspaper. Do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification button, connect with us across all our social media platforms so that when we drop videos like this, you get to receive it firsthand. Let's look into the newspapers for today and see what the headlines look like. First, we'll be looking at the Daily Sun newspaper. It reads, Supreme Court affirms Governor Fubara'S Aliyu's election. Details is found on page 4. I hold the Sun Award in high esteem, says Yahaya, Gombe governor. We see at the main story here, it reads, Mango killings, defense headquarters films. Sub-story under that reads, invite Khan leadership, orders over allegation against personnel. We see at the corner story here, it reads, Tinubu owes us explanation on NNPCL $3.3 billion emergency loan, says Atiku. Details found on page 28. Enugu AFDB partner on investment, orders. Details found on page 25. Insecurity, state police remains penace, says Katsina governor. Details found on page 6. FCT kidnapping, military deploys special forces to comb Abuja forest for terrorists, bandits. Sub-story under that reads, police rescues 14 victims, kill abductors in just cause. Details is found on page 4 and 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Rivers Assembly crisis, court remands Fubara'S Loyalists to prison over terrorism charge. Details is found on page 4. Ohanes Islam security agencies over extortion on Southeast Road. This is found on page 28. Governor Soludo chasing shadows, insensitive. Details found on page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper, and that's all we'll be taking on the Daily Sun. Moving on, let's look into the Nation's newspaper and know the headlines that it's got. Government labor minimum wage talks for March. Details found on page 4. Shell must clean up Niger Delta before selling assets, says Clark. Details found on page 2. Presidency tackles Atiku over claim of NNPC's $3.3 billion loan. Details found on page 7. Akwa Ibom consumes 80% of adulterated petroleum products. Details found on page 5. We see here it says PwC predicts 3% growth in economy. Details found on page 9. Custom intercept 4 billion naira drug at port. Details found on page 6. We see here at banner story it reads, power supply worsens as generation drops to 3,104 megawatts. Sub-story under that reads, TCN blames gas shortage. 30 megawatts coming from Kashim Bila. Enugu community stores multi-billion naira power. If you want to know of this story, please pick a copy of the Nation's newspaper and turn on to page 7. We see at the bottom story it reads, Fubara hail God, Tinubu, Wike over Supreme Court victory. Sub-story under that reads, Taraba Sokoto governors also cleared. This is found on page 4. Bayelsa to prioritize teaching of Ijaw, French, other subjects in public schools. This is found on page 5, and that's all we'll be taking on the Nation's newspaper. And lastly, on the newspapers for today, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper. We see at the top story it reads, Tinubu approves 50 billion naira security vote for 5 northern states. Details found on page 13. Naira drops as parallel market, closes 900 naira per dollar, official window. Details found on page 21. Nigeria, Morocco fast-track talk on 30 billion naira, $30 billion gas pipeline. This is found on page 21. Tinubunomics, federal government differs as NLC says reform killing Nigerians. Sub-story under that reads, listening to IMF, World Bank has never helped Nigeria. NLC president tells Tinubu. Another sub-story under that reads, president determined to make life better for citizens, says information minister. If you want to know more of the story, please pick a copy of the Punch newspaper and turn on to page 2 of the Punch newspaper so you see more of the story. We see at the bottom story it reads, custom seizes 4 billion naira cocaine arms from South Africa. This is found on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government releases fund for second Niger bridge, Lagos-Ibadan bypasses. This is found on page 13. Mr. Ibu's son, daughter arrested for alleged theft of 55 million donation. This is found on page 4 and 5. Rivers elders hail Fubara'S Supreme Court victory, 1 week. This is found on page 12, and that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. Now let's get to see the reactions of people in the street. Let's know what they have to say as regards the headlines on the papers. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I would like your thoughts on the Nation's newspaper that says attack on Rivers Assembly, court sends 5 to prison. This is prior to following the Supreme Court verdict that declared Fubara a bona fide governor of Rivers State. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I have to thank you, media. First of all, I have to introduce myself formally. I'm Comrade Prince Amadi, a youth leader in Rumoko. I'm precisely from Romalo. Okay. Well, I have to go on the issue of the attack on the State Assembly complex. It's a barbaric action of some persons, those who are involved. And I thank God for the courts who are in their wisdom, being able to arrest some of the culprits through the police forces and have arraigned and reminded them. So it's a welcome development. Talking about the judgment of the Supreme Court at yesterday in favor of Siminalayi Fubara as the governor of Rivers State, we are also appealing to him that there's no victor, no vanquish. He should find a way to resolve with his principal, Chief Barrister Wike, who is his predecessor. Because without Wike, who is now the Minister of FCT, exactly, the victory we're talking today wouldn't have been in existence. So we pray as Rivers people, as good people of Rivers State, that there should be relative peace between the sitting governor, Sim Fubara, and the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Chief Barrister Wike. Because if both of them are working in the same page, Rivers State will forge ahead, and there will be much enviable development in the state. So I am here to say that the Rivers people should not see the judgments as a do or die affair.
Exactly.
Should not also see the judgments as a judgment of sentiment that is foreseen. They should see the judgments as a judgment of reconciliation between the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, and his predecessor, Wike, who is now the FCT minister in Abuja. If there is proper reconciliation, I think Rivers State will move to an enviable height. That is my humble appeal to all Rivers people and the leader who is our own person in Abuja there, the FCT minister, who is doing well. We know with his assistant to Sim Fubara, Rivers State will go beyond what we're seeing today.
Exactly. Now you are the opinion that Fubara should always seek reconciliation with the FCT minister and should seek help also, since Wike knows more about the game as regards Rivers politics. But some persons are of the opinion that Wike should back out from Rivers politics. What do you have to say about that?
As I've rightly said before, just like you can't rule the likes of Peter Odele, the former governor of Rivers State, because these persons are political colossus in the state who know the intrigues of politics of Rivers State. You can't rule them out.
Exactly.
We're not talking about the issue of Godfather. We're talking about technocrats, experienced politicians who are grinded in the business. Because this is the first of its kind that an opposition person from Rivers State is being nominated as an FCT minister, which means he has the charisma to serve the nation. And it has never been heard in history since 1999 that a SASA person has occupied such an enviable office as the FCT minister. So it is a good thing for Rivers people that a Rivers son is in Abuja, representing Rivers State very well, making Rivers State very proud in Abuja. So if these two colors are being added together with what Sim is doing today in Rivers State, they should not see it as a win-all. It's a game that they have to consolidate. All Sim is coming to do in Rivers State, we urge him to consolidate with the blueprint of the governor, his predecessor, Wike. If he consolidates with the blueprints, with the achievement Wike has made within 8 years as a governor, I think the sky will be his starting point. So we're urging peace among the youth, among the elders, among the women. You should not look at that because this man took risk. He took strong risks. He went beyond boundaries to make sure that PDP wins in Rivers State. And that is why he never objected against the mandate of Sim Fubara. He made sure that PDP is still being reinstated in Rivers State. It's a good thing for Rivers people that PDP is still in charge in Rivers State. But Sim should go back to the drawing board, how he started with his master, and consolidate on the project the master has kept on ground, his flyover project and other projects, so numerous to be mentioned. If he consolidates on this project, I think the sky will be Sim's starting point.
Okay, one last question now. What do you advise Sim to do as regards those persons that contested this election with him, those persons that took him to court?
Yes, as a Democrat, all our advice for now is for Sim to form a broad-based government of national unity, encompass all the political actors in the various political parties who are candidates, who are lost, because there's no victor, no vanquish. Bring all together and form one government of national unity to push Rivers State forward. That is our interest.
Okay, thank you very much. The headline says, Rivers elders hail Fubara'S Supreme Court victory once Wike. First, what is your thoughts as regards the Supreme Court verdict making Fubara the bona fide governor of Rivers State?
It's a good one. We all are happy towards what happened. as the owner of the state, because for now Fubara is our head here. We are happy because if he's the one ruling us, he should be the one that should have the highest say in the state. So him being the winner is a very good one. We are happy. We are all happy.
Okay, now yesterday we were at the government house and we saw people jubilating, making merry, celebrating the victory. Now I'm asking, do you think that victory encompasses the 4 walls of the government house? That do you think people on the streets are happy too about the verdict that was made?
And why not? We should be very, very happy, because when Wike was here, we welcome him and we allow him to rule his own way. For now, he should let the person that is on seat to rule his own way as well. So coming in here to tell the person that is on seat that this is what you have to do I think it's not a good one at all. So him coming here, for us, we did not even like what he did. So for now, what they have ruled over there is exactly what it's supposed to be. We are very much happy. And I think everybody, as far as you're staying in Rivers State, should be happy as well. We are all happy.
Okay, now let's deviate a little bit. They are warning Wike to stay away from Rivers politics, knowing that he's no more governor here. And he's the minister of the FCT. Why some persons are saying Governor Fubara doesn't know too much in this game of governing a state, that Wike should continue helping him out. Why some are saying that former Governor Wike should back out. What do you have to say about that?
Like the saying goes, a room was not made in a day, Before Wike could get to where he is now, I believe he started somewhere. He should allow Wike to use his own God-given ideas to rule the state as well. I believe Fubara does not have any bad plans towards the state. Him coming here to tell him what to do, because at least we all know what Wike, when he was here, we know everything that happens. So we should not bring in his own. He should allow Fubara to rule us his own way too. Let him back off. We all say he should back off in this particular time and allow the owner of the state to rule it the way he wants it.
Okay, now we know that Governor Wike is like Fubara'S political godfather. He brought him into this game. Don't you think him making ex-Governor Wike to back out would seem like a betrayal?
Does Wike even believe in godfatherism, if you want to talk about that? Doesn't even fear. Wike that even challenged our last president now, Buhari now, right? So why will he even want anyone to respect him when he was not this type that used to respect? He should allow that man. Though I'm not saying Fubara should disrespect him. I'm not saying Fubara should fight him. I'm not saying they should get into that enmity of a thing. But when it comes to the rulership, he should let the man to rule. He should allow him to do his own thing the way he wants it. He should not bring his own and say, in the name of godfatherism, it must be here, it must be there. No. Let him just watch the man do it the way he wants to do it. That godfatherism of a thing is a no-no for me.
Okay, one last question. Now we see that some persons, as regards the governorship election, those persons that took Governor Fubara to court and how it lingers, what's your suggestion for Governor Fubara? As regards those persons, what should happen to them?
For now, him too, he should know that he has enemies. When you are eating with your enemies, you use a long spoon. That is the saying. That is how the saying goes. So for now, if he's going to succeed in this rulership, he should stay very far from them. Notwithstanding, even if he wants to talk to them, fine. He wants to, maybe he has anything and he wants to invite them, fine. But when it comes to advice or any other thing, when it comes to anything, advice, he should not take from them, because none of them is going to give him a good advice. He should work with the people that loves him, work with the people that he knows has a good future, for a good plan for Rivers State. And I believe what we are seeing to the level he's going, everything is going to work out fine. Let him just do away with Wike's panel, friends and
cabal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like your thoughts on the Punch newspaper that says Tinubunomics, federal government differs as NLC says reform killing Nigeria.
The truth of the matter is what we are yearning for, as far as the nation is concerned, is a reform. So if NLC are saying that the process of reform is killing Nigeria, They may have their own reasons for saying it.
Okay, now, inside the story, according to Joe Ajero, the president of NLC, he was stating that why these reforms is killing Nigeria is fuel used to be around 160, 170, then increased to like 240, 250 during Buhari's tenure. While now we could see that they removed subsidy and it has reduced as far as 660. Why coming to the price of dollar? $1 now equals around 1.2. That used to be around 400, 500, 600 those times. So these are part of the issues that he was lamenting on.
His lamentation is not out of point to say. His lamentation is not out of point, but the truth of the matter is the major problem we are having in the nation is not only centered on the leaders. It cuts across all sectors. Okay? A leader may have a good intention to bring about a reform, but at the other hand, the people whom he's partnering with to bring the reform, if their minds are not clean, if their intentions are not good or clear, it could also bring a problem. As a leader, you know that your eyes will not be everywhere, no matter how smart you are. Okay? A nation such as Nigeria is too large enough for one person to govern. That's just the truth. If we must tell ourselves the truth, Nigeria is too big enough for one person to manage. And that is why instead of things getting better, it will get worse. The best thing we can do to bring about, to lower down the challenges we are having is to make sure that we segment the government in such a way that all the geopolitical zones will have control over, governance as per that zone and make reports. There's nothing wrong in us having what one could call United States of Nigeria. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay? Where every geopolitical zone manages their resources, pay a certain tax to the federal government, and it still runs. Because when you ask one person to, manage the affairs of the whole nation, such as Nigeria, it will still keep on, bringing issues that people will keep on talking about year in, year out. That is just the truth of the matter. One person cannot govern Nigeria and we have a good governance. It is not possible. Because when he's trying to do a particular thing with good intention, there are other harms that are bent on making sure that they amass wealth for themselves. Okay, look at what happens in Betaidu's case.
Exactly.
That's just a tip of an iceberg. That's as was even to me, as is even minute a little compared to what's happening in this nation. What people are saying, oh, better I do this, better I do that, to me is a far little to, other money launderings, other, stealings that has been going on.
The one that as regards Emefiele's...
Imagine that. Now the question is, okay, in Buhari's tenure, sorry to digress a bit, in Buhari's tenure, we were hearing of, people returning money, recovery of money that was stolen, that was this, that was that. But for one day, we never get to know what those monies are used for or where those monies are kept.
Exactly.
So these are the issues we keep on, having. If this governance is shared into all the zones, where every zone have their own, prime minister or what have you, or as the case may be, you will discover that a particular zone will not want to see their own zone being watered down, being degraded, being mismanaged. There will be easy reach to whosoever that is managing their affairs as per that zone. Before you want to travel to Abuja, to get from the south, before you could travel to Abuja you go, access the Aso Rock to make whatever contribution you feel necessary, you discover that at the end of the day, it will just be an impossible move. Okay? All the news commentaries we've been having, all the social media awareness analysis we've been making so far, to what extent has it gone? What value has it brought? What changes has it brought?
Does the government even listen to
do they even listen? That is a thing.
Or they want to just implement what they feel like is right?
And if you want to make a protest now, will you carry the protest to Aso Rock? It's not possible. Before you even think of doing something like that, carrying, nursing such an idea, taking it from here to down to that side, you discover that at the end of the day, you will even be the one to back out. But if this is segmented into all the zones, you'll be able to have a reach to where the government has as per that zone is. I mean, whatever complaint or there at that point, whatever necessary protest that needs to go on will be effective. But at this point, it can't be. It can't be.
All right, thank you very much. All right, this is where we come to the end of this program. You've heard what the people on the street had to say. You heard their analysis and the opinions that they had as regards this topic. So whatever opinion that you have, whatever comments that you have, whatever counter opinions that you have as regards these headlines, please do well to slide into our comment section. Drop your comments in the comment section. Connect with us in all our social media platforms. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us across all our social media platforms. Turn on the notification button so that you get to receive notifications consecutively. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAP TV. See you next time.